Welcome to BMW Week here at TFLnow. I just went to BMW's Test Fest where they invited me out to check out a lot of their lineup. And this week we're focusing on some really cool new models, including the all-new BMW M2, the Alpina XB7, the new 7 Series, the new 3 Series with the facelift, and of course, the all-new BMW XM. It's going to be a great week, so check it out right now. This BMW 7 Series has a 31-inch display in the back seat. It's a literal cinema, and in this video we are taking you on a full tour of all the crazy features, not only in the back seat, but on the outside and the inside. And joining me today is...
Sophion from Redline. Thanks for having me, Tommy.
And that's coming up right now after a word from our sponsor.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
This BMW 7 Series is part of an all-new generation that they're launching for 2023, and there are two versions. There's the gasoline and the electric model. This one is the gasoline, but it's actually the special trim, right, Sophion?
Yeah, this one is the 760i xDrive, which means it comes standard with all-wheel drive, and we have a new V8 under the hood that is now electrified.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second, but let's talk about the design. Now, this looks entirely different than any 7 Series that has come before it. You've got this crazy front end, and to explain it to you, I'm going to take the camera and let Sophion walk us through it.
Oh boy, I get the fun part of talking about the looks of this car, huh, Tommy?
You sure do, buddy.
So, everybody knows that BMW is going through, let's just say, some design changes, some big ones, and the 7 Series tends to kind of implement some of their new design languages. So obviously, this model here is the M Sport version, so we have a lot of black accents, and it's got the Shadowline package, so we have the black accents for the massive twin kidney grills. And this is also the first BMW that's introducing the split headlight design. So this kind of is like what other brands like Jeep, like Hyundai are doing. However, the headlights do have like a Swarovski crystal in the actual daytime running light, which makes it look a little bit more expensive. Tommy, what do you think of the look of the headlights?
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. It kind of glimmers in the sun. You can kind of see as certain angles hit it. It does shine kind of like a diamond. Now, this is probably not the most flattering color combo.
No, it's not. We probably got the worst color combo because of the black with the white.
Yeah, so especially when you have the M Sport, the blacked out grills, and all the black accents, it just is kind of like a maw coming out of the front end of the car. But if you can get over the front end, the rest of the car, I think, is pretty handsome.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, it's got presence to it, and its styling is either going to be a love it or hate it. So you can't argue the fact, or you can't argue the fact that it's going to attract people's attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention. And the crazy thing about this new 7 Series is we only get one size here in America, and this is a big vehicle. It's 212 inches long. It's 5 inches longer than the previous generation.
So there's no short wheelbase version of this car?
Not here in the US. We just get basically one size, and it's actually about 4 inches longer than the current generation S-Class.
Now, I do agree with you, Sophion. I think the rear end is far more attractive. This one, especially the 760, we've got the quad exhaust tips poking out the bottom there.
Yeah, the rear, I think, is probably the more handsome angle. It could be a little nondescript for some people, but with the M Sport, you get the black little rear lip spoiler along with the black accents. And overall, I think it looks good back here.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. And this one is rolling on the 21-inch wheels with the little M badges there. Almost an aero design with how little air can pass through there.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's almost like that wheel was carried over from the i7 because, as you guys know, there's now an electric version called the i7. And unlike what Mercedes did, this actually just looks, whether you go for the gas or the electric, they look practically the same.
All right, you want to pop the hood and we'll talk about what is underneath.
Yes.
Now, there's a couple of different engine options coming to the States. There is an inline 6-cylinder, but this one, being the 60 model, comes equipped with not a V12 like 60 models in the past would have had, but a V8, right?
Yeah, so that is a little strange, which I forgot to do a double pull, so shame on me not doing a double pull.
There we go.
Okay, it was just a little stuck. But yeah, so previously, if you saw a 60 badge on a 7 Series, it meant it had a V12. But BMW has already confirmed that, at least here in the States, they're not going to do a V12 under the hood of any non-Rolls-Royce product anymore. So this is essentially the top engine for now. It's a 4.4-liter twin-turbo direct injection V8 with a 48-volt mild hybrid system, and it makes pretty impressive power figures: 536 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque with xDrive all-wheel drive as standard.
Now, one thing which I think is really interesting is that this engine is not going to other markets. This is a North American specific unit, which I think is pretty pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows that here in America we like more, and that's why BMW decided to give us more power versus other markets.
So all those folks that are like, BMW's holding out on the US consumers, not in the new 7 Series, because our German friends are not going to be getting this engine option. So, ha! Ha! Now, of course, as Sophia mentioned too, just over there, we're here at BMW Test Fest in Palm Springs, there's actually the i7, which is the electrified version of this car.
Yeah, and what's interesting about the i7 is it only comes as an xDrive 60. You have to make sure you don't include the i because it doesn't have injection. It's not a gas engine. But that model has the same horsepower, 536, but 549 torque. So BMW says this will get to 60 in around 4.1 seconds. The electric version does it in 4.5. I'd be curious to see which one's faster. Maybe perhaps that's a future video for you, Tommy.
It's pretty crazy though. I mean, this enormous sedan will do 0 to 60 in under 5. All right, Sofian, I'm going to give you the camera.
All right.
And do you want to kind of film me as I show the inside?
Yeah, please.
Because there's a lot to talk about. So this is where things get interesting. Actually, pause there, Sofian. I want to show you the coolest feature.
Oh, yes.
We got to show this off. So this car has electronic doors, and if you put your hand in, grab the handle, you can open them up like normal doors, or there's this little button, and if you push in on it, the door will actually glide itself open, which is pretty cool.
So, Tommy, how does it stop itself from hitting another car, though?
Well, it has sensors, actually, which is pretty advanced. So,
okay.
If you look not only on the door handle, but along the side, right? You see these little sensors? I believe those are there, right? To protect the door from opening into other objects.
Well, that's good.
The coolest feature, I'm actually going to demonstrate inside. So if you want to focus on the outside, Sofian, you know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I know what you're going to do.
Oh, yes. So start the engine. I'll put down the window so Sofian can hear me. All right, watch this. Hey, BMW. Open all the doors.
Should I open all doors?
Yes, you should.
Pardon?
Yes.
Got it.
What a power move. Imagine pulling up to a place and just opening all the doors at the same time, and it'll even close them. Check this out. Hey, BMW. Hey, BMW. Close all the doors.
Try it once more.
Close all the doors.
Should I close all doors?
Yes.
Got it.
Oh, yeah. So it does take a little bit of time, but you can actually use the voice interface to open and close all the doors. So Sofian, open up that door and let's show them the inside, because this thing is pretty nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, especially this particular model. It's got like a burgundy full merino leather. It's like burgundy brown, and it looks really good with the white exterior.
It does look really good. I agree completely. And the theme on the inside is crystals everywhere.
Yeah, the crystal glass controls that you see there is actually standard. You also have this really beautiful interaction bar that lights up at night, and it also displays colors whenever you're talking to the system.
Interaction bar.
Yes, that's BMW's terminology.
So the interaction bar is this panel, and you can actually touch various parts of it and have it do certain things. So for example, this right here, that'll open up the glove box. It's actually a little touch sensitive area. And then these, you see like the little 0 to 1 there? You swipe that, and that is how you open and close the air vents. This is something that's very technologically advanced, but they're kind of over-engineering the wheel here a little bit. And then these little sliders will actually move the vents around. So pretty funky, definitely different, definitely interesting. What are the screen sizes?
Yeah, so this has their new iDrive 8 software. So you have a 12.3-inch display in the center, or in the instrument panel, and then a 14.9-inch display in the center screen.
Of course, it has full wireless phone connectivity, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, the instrument cluster also all digital, and you got all sorts of different themes you can do. There's a different there's mode selection, so you can click the My mode. Let's go to Expressive. That's my favorite. I just think it looks cool. It makes the whole interior look like you're living through an art museum. Which
Yeah,
is
definitely. I feel like an artist designed it, but I have no idea what it does to the way it drives.
Now, apart from that, this BMW does have the paddle shifters, and this left one actually says Boost on it. What does that do?
Yeah, so that's kind of like an overboost function. If you guys know Porsche vehicles where they have like a sport response, it'll give you 10 seconds of overboost. So I don't know if it adds any more power, but it should be fun when you're trying to squirt around somebody.
All right, I'm going to turn a little bit of AC on, and now we get to do the fun part. We're going to hop in the rear seat. So, Sophian, I'll take the camera. Do you want to get on the driver's side? I'll get on the passenger.
Sure thing.
And we'll show them the absolute craziness that is the rear seat of this car. You can also open and close the doors, by the way, by these little buttons here on the edges of the dashboard. Push them in, and it'll allow you to do that. Now, this car, as equipped, what is the sticker on this guy, Sophian?
Okay, so this car is around $150,000, and it starts at $113,000, but it's got a crap ton of options on it, and a lot of them is in the back seats here.
A lot of them is in the back seat. Now, first of all, full glass roof, but I love actually this cool pattern that they've incorporated in the glass roof.
Those actually light up at night too. It's part of the intricate LED ambient lighting.
Do they really? Wow. Now, legroom, pretty absurd. That's my driving position at 6 feet tall. Sophian is like stretched out.
Yeah, I can even like cross my legs here. It's around 43 inches of legroom. That's what BMW says.
And now we get to talk about the fun stuff. So let me close the door. Can you close the door from the back with a button?
Yeah, the button's actually over there. So I don't blame you for hitting that button because I thought it was that one as well.
Now,
first.
Both the rear passengers have these little panels, and these little panels are where things get really interesting because they control a ton of stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually close all the blinds. Oop, pushed the wrong button. Blinds, close all. So
Thank you, because it's definitely hot out here.
Not only do we have blinds there for the side windows, but we also have one on the rear and even one for the back window.
And it makes a huge difference, Tommy. I mean, the sun is like literally blinding us here in Palm Springs, and now it just feels like we're in this like studio, this dark studio or movie theater.
And the next thing we can do is actually start messing with the seats. So if I go home, there's going to be a seat menu here, and I can scroll over to adjustment. And if you're on the passenger side, if you push this little button, come on, it will actually, oh, Sophian, I was so excited.
There it goes.
Set lounge position, there it goes. So the front seat is going to fold forward, and then check this out. As it does that, a little leg rest is going to appear from the base of this seat, and I'm essentially about to relax in the ultimate business jet experience.
Yeah, you got the best seat in the car, Tommy. This is the one where you can literally push the seat forward. It takes a little bit of time. As you can see, the front seat has to get completely out of the way, especially for you. You're very tall, so you need the space to stretch your legs out.
And here comes the little footrest. I'm going to take my shoes off, actually, because I don't want to get gunk on these expensive seats. Also, look at this message which appears in the infotainment for the driver. It says, if your view is blocked, please adjust seat. So they want to keep safety a priority. And then this little thing folds out like that, and now, oh, I am not classy enough for this. But look at that. I mean, even at 6 feet tall, we've gone into full extension mode.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have that ability because this seat obviously is for the driver. I can't move the seat forward, but I still, like, it's the back seats back here are some of the nicest I've been in.
They are really nice. But that is just the start of the cool features. So what is in the middle here?
So when you fold this down, it actually doesn't have too much because instead of a screen here like some brands, BMW gives you a screen over here. So right here, you just get basically a wireless phone charging pad. You can also push this, that pushes that out, so you have two cup holders there. No champagne holders or no refrigerator, but if you open this up, you can see there's two USB-C charging ports and then a nice little storage area. So it's a little bit Spartan over here, but all of the magic is right in these screens.
All right, should we start talking about the elephant in the room?
Oh yes, and that's the first ever that I've seen. It's called the BMW Theater Screen, and it's 31.3 inches across. It's an 8K resolution, and it runs off of the 5G hotspot in the vehicle. So you basically go here into the screen. On either side, you hit display, and then you hit fold down.
And then you play the dun 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 dun. Look at that.
And surprisingly, Tommy, this screen is only about $4,800 extra on the base version, and it's part of like a rear executive seat package for $7,000 on this model.
Wow. So this screen essentially extends the entire width of the vehicle. And talk me through some of the things that this enormous theater can do.
Right, so it's running off of Amazon Fire TV, so you have all these various streaming sources, and you can see as well it is a touch screen. And if you're wondering, well, the screen's a little too far away to touch, you can basically push a button there and that will move the screen forward. You can also adjust the tilt of it as well, so I can push this and it'll also change the angle of tilt. if you'd like.
Wow.
So that's super customizable, and plus it's basically just as responsive as the front touch area. And you can see there's Netflix, there's Amazon Prime Video, and you can watch all these movies back here. I mean, this is almost nicer than my living room.
I think this is nicer than my living room. I don't want to get demonetized, but if we did watch the trailer, we could also stream this because it has its own connectivity, right?
Correct. Yeah, it runs off of 5G, so it's got its own hotspot in here.
And you can also got these side panels that you can
Yeah,
configure.
so you can actually configure the display a little bit and change the aspect ratio. So it's on 16:9 right now, so you can actually change it to do the entire full screen if you like, and blow it up.
Whoa! What did you do?
And then you can also go into like a middle portion here. So if you
Unreal.
if you actually are watching a movie, this is extremely useful, kind of just zooming in and seeing everything, and then it kind of just puts everything over here to the side. But this is what we started out was in this display.
So Sophian, you can also, if you don't want to watch your movies on Amazon, there's also Netflix, right?
Yeah, there's Netflix, and I believe there's also, I saw YouTube as well for whenever you want to watch one of TFL's videos.
Heck yes.
In your back seat.
Thank you for the shout out. No, this is really, really cool. And there's also all sorts of different things you can access via this. This is a very bold movie I chose to actually display.
I was like, is Superbad your favorite movie, Tom?
How do we get out of the screen here? Oh, now we're stuck.
I'm surprised there's no back button here, actually.
Yeah,
No, that's not it.
interesting. Oh, here we go, home.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
All
we
right,
found
we're
it.
good. You can also see like live and upcoming events there. It's just so fantastic, and it's just ridiculously huge. I mean, first of all, in this position, it's hard to express how close it is to Sophian's face.
Yeah, actually, I think it might almost be too close. Like, I like it in this position where it's a little bit farther, but I mean, the one thing about this screen, however, is there's one big problem with it, and when it's down, the driver cannot see what's behind you,
Here,
or what's
I'll
behind him.
give you a sense of their view. It's going to look like that, right?
And it wouldn't be an issue if BMW did a rear camera mirror, but they don't.
Which is crazy, right?
I feel like it's a German car thing. The German brands, none of them do it.
The other thing too about this car is they give you little pillows.
Oh yes, the pillows are very nice.
They're fantastic.
And I'm sitting here getting a massage right now too.
All right, all right. So how does this back seat compare to Mercedes and Lexus and those manufacturers?
Well, the Benz has pretty much the same amount of legroom space, and you can also get like the seats that fold or that recline, that massage, they're heated and ventilated. And Mercedes also has like their own rear seat entertainment system, but it's not like this. It's pretty comparable, but this just has that screen. The Lexus has less legroom. I was just in the Genesis G90 that also had less legroom, but really nice details as well. So this is definitely one of the best. I wouldn't be surprised if other brands start to copy this screen though.
All right, absolutely nuts. I think it's time we head out of this beast and close it up. Now, can I open the door by pushing this button?
You can, yes. And it should start to put your seat down automatically when you do that.
Oh, it does. Look at that. So I start to retract. Now, for those wondering, I will not be putting my shoes back on because that's going to take me an hour. So, Sophian, don't shoot my feet. But we'll close up this video. So, the BMW 7 Series is an absolute technological marvel. Don't shoot my feet. I don't have shoes on. And I mean, it really is impressive all the things you can do with this car. It's a very comfortable place to spend time. I'm not sold on the front end design especially, and it's hard to compete with Mercedes when it comes to all that luxury. But we're going to get this car on the road here shortly. Check out Sophian's review over at Redline Reviews if you want a full detailed driver review. But as always, this has been Tommy.
And Sophian.
All right, I'm going to go put on shoes, and we'll see you on the next video. This is the ultimate sleeper of the early 2000s, and it's for sale right now over at TFLbids.com.
Yeah, this is my 2003 Passat W8 with a 6-speed manual, and it's one of only 2 in indigo blue with the tan leather.
And wait to hear what it sounds like. We had a great sale last week of a 1997 Mustang for $8,900, so check out TFLbids.com if you want to auction off your vehicle.
Yeah, and we promise to get it listed and sold faster than any other automotive auction site.